Always forget to turn my mic off, my back on. How are we doing, folks? How are we doing? Where's Discord gone? Why is my Discord vanished? Hey, there it is. Perfect. Right. So, how is everyone? I hope everyone's doing all right. Everyone's having a great time. We are on stream today, starting our V2 build, and we have a very, very special guest. So, Hans, would you like to introduce yourself for me, bud?
Hello there. Can everyone hear me?
Hopefully everyone can hear you. Right, let us know if there are any audio issues, guys.
I hope to. Hopefully
All right.
this mic is picking up.
Hey, folks. Right.
Hello there.
Hey, Thomas. Hey, Omagand. Hey, Damascus. Hey, Strawdog. How is everyone? Right, sorry, I cut straight in there. Go ahead, Hans. How are you doing, bud? Very low audio. He's very
I'm
quiet.
doing pretty well.
Good. Okay. Yeah, introduce yourself, Hans.
Hey there, guys. I'm basically the one behind the shorts, but most people who are here know that. I'm our community manager. I'm very happy to be here and actually received the V2 kit that I had to fight with UPS to get, so that was quite a fight, but at least now we are here.
Nice. Yeah, how long did it actually take? Was it like 2 weeks late or something like that? Because we've been waiting for these kits for like
Yeah.
we've been waiting for these kits for a good 2 or 3 months now.
Oh yeah, I think when UPS received the kit, it took like a week to get the notification that it's being delivered. Then the day it was supposed to be delivered, it never got here, and then it took another week to get here. And it supposedly was in my city, so
yeah,
pretty weird. My city doesn't even have like a UPS warehouse, so I don't know where they stored it, but it was here.
Okay, right, so plan for today is we're going to get started. There are a few things that... Oh, speaking of which, hey, Jose. Yeah, Jose Rivera, who works for LDO, if you don't know him, he's already made us aware of, so there's a few things that we'll need to tweak and change throughout the build. We'll need to drill a few more holes. We'll need to thread a couple holes as well. So, yeah, just remember, this is a completely pre-production kit. It's not really ready for the prime time, hence why we're doing this part. So we just want to make you guys aware that the quality of this pre-production kit doesn't necessarily dictate the quality of the final kit itself. I don't know what we finally landed on, Hans. Are you doing Miley and I'm doing Milo, or are we both doing the same build?
I think yeah, because you said that you want Miley and Milo to be built on stream, so I think it will be better if I do Miley and you do Milo.
Yeah, so it's a slightly different build in terms of the x-axis, but also order of operations changes a little bit. So I'll try my best to make it as coherent as possible. But other than that, we do need to get started on the y-axis today, at the very least, because the y-axis pretty much stays the same. And speaking of which, let's get fusion up. Ooh, why is my fusion window not working? There we go. Right, so this is the y-axis. It's really, really simple to build, but there is an order of operations you need to go about when building it. So effectively, we're going to ignore the skirts for today, and we're just going to focus, not the skirts, the hold downs, and we're just going to focus on the main metallic assembly. Which of the y-axis motor mounts did you decide on? Did you go on the split one or the full length one?
I think I did the full length one.
You did the full length one. Okay, so we can work that out in a bit. It's basically the same assembly, it's just split down the middle.
Oh yeah, because I think the full one fit on my P1S, so I just did that.
Yeah, it fits on my P1S as well, so it makes sense. Right, so let's take everything away. Right, Might be a little nicer if I actually have my face on stream for once. I know you guys hate my face, but come on. You gotta deal with it sometimes. So the first things we'll need is you'll need the second longest C-beam, and you'll need the 2080 flat extrusion. Now, if LDO got this correct, they've tapped both sides of it. And then we're just going to get the Y-axis bearing block. Now, we don't actually need to assemble the bearing block right now, but it just helps to do all the bits and bobs beforehand. Do you have your soldering iron on you? Have we forgotten to prepare? No, we haven't. Okay, cool. I did 4 also. Yeah, if it fits on most standard size printers nowadays. I don't think it fits on a Prusa Core 1, which is kind of annoying. The Prusa Core 1 is a great machine in every single way, despite the fact... the only thing I don't like about the Prusa Core 1 is the fact that it uses the Mark 3/Mark 4 bed size. Because the whole point was... I like it in the fact that it's upgradable, and that's cool, but for a lot of the stuff that I do nowadays, 220 is just too small of a build plate. It's too small of a build area. I forgot to get my thing out. There it is. Like, 250 is a great size. Time is up. Oh no! Use this information for whatever you feel you can. So this time is done, which means that you need to start going on the next timer. That's what the timers are for. Each timer, when it ends, is just to remind you to start a new timer. All right, so we're going to need to do some heat inserts. Straight up. Which is always everyone's favorite pastime. There we go. Time for the second timer, I guess. 10 minutes until the time. I printed the full one on my flash forward 5M Pro. Well, how big is the 5M Pro? Flash forward is one of those companies, like they get notoriety for being different when everyone asks, slightly different when the community wants things to be different. But the products that they have never really stood out to me. Like, I think it's the 5M Pro that has the independent inlets for like 4 different spools of filament. Oh my god, I am the timer. So the heat inserts that we got with the kit were wrong. So that's fine. LDO doesn't know about it. They are aware about it, but we spec Voron sized inserts so that everyone who's got a million Voron inserts can just use those ones. But they sent us the old V1.5 spec ones, which are too small to fit in Voron sized bores. So that's all right. That's all right. If LDO doesn't fix it, they do still fit the CNC kitchen sized parts. So when you get your kit, double check to see if the inserts are the correct Voron spec ones. If they're not, print the CNC kitchen spec parts and they'll still work. Basically, I'm saying don't print anything until your kit arrives, because you don't want a nasty surprise. How you doing, Hans? Oh, he's just popped back up. Nope, it's the enclosed. Oh, fair. Nope, it's the enclosed one. Bed is 220-ish, if I recall. Oh, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I print that 220 is just too small for, because it's not always about the maximum build size. If you print in almost exclusively ABS, like I do, then you need to worry about like the last 10 millimeters on either side of the bed. because they don't. Those are the edges of a bed don't tend to heat up the same as the central mass of a bed do. So you end up, if you have a 250 size bed, you don't have a 250 size bed. You end up actually having a 230 size bed because you do 10 millimeters on either side. Especially if you're printing really big flat parts or really, really thick ABS parts. So something with like 6 bottom layers and 6 walls, which is like the structural setting for Milo, those curl really easily if you don't have, like, if you're not printing in the central mass part of the print bed. Obviously, if you're printing like PETG or less warp-prone materials, a lot, PETG, PLA, or even carbon-filled stuff, it's not too bad. And your mileage may vary. It might be that you manage to print edge to edge and you're absolutely fine. Right. So Hans, if you want to grab your Y bearing block and you're just going to stick 4 inserts into the front for me. There's 4 holes just around the central bore that you want to stick 4 inserts in.
Okay. With inserts. It's fine.
ASA forever. ASA all the way for me. It prints like a dream. To be honest, I've never really had a different printing experience between ASA and ABS. The only time I print ASA is when I want the thing to be outside, and I very rarely do that because I don't have a garden, so I never need things to be printed outside. I do have some camping gear. Actually, I say that. I do have some camping gear that's printed from ASA, specifically so I can take it outside and not have to worry about it. So every time I design something, I try and design it around as few fasteners as possible. And where possible, I try and have main size screws. So the main size screws for pretty much everything is M3x40, M3x10, M5x10, and M5x12. So if you're ever wondering what size screw to use somewhere and you don't have the instructions with you, then it's probably going to be one of those ones. Can I push up Hans's audio anymore? Very hard to understand. I can try. I can do, but it blows out my ears because I can't control the Discord volume for his voice, I'm afraid. Is that any better, Hans?
Push my audio up on.
Yeah, can you hear me, Hans? Hans, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, guys, now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, cool. I was just saying because I thought you'd just repeated what I said before from what someone said on stream. Cool. So we're going to need some M3x12s and some M3x40s for this bit.
Am I better now, guys?
Hmm?
Oh, no, I was just asking chat if my voice is better. Maybe I can hear it now.
Maybe we hear him from your earbuds. Probably not because... Oh, you might do. Can you... Are you hearing double? Is that what it is? Because I don't have a speaker in this room, so all of my audio comes through my earbud. Not double, okay. Yeah. You guys hear me through my little lapel mic, and Hans is hearing me through my earbud.
They're saying I'm barely audible. That's interesting. I even put this clip on my.
Does Discord have an independent?
Discord is...
Does Discord have an independent sound setting? Do you know? I'm just going to turn you off for 1 second, just so I can go through Discord. You can still speak, but they just can't see you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, double streams! Don't you just love them?
Oh yeah.
Output volume. There we go.
Hopefully
Right.
it'll be better now.
Right. Try and speak now. Is that any better? This is why I don't
Yes,
stream
can you hear me
things with
now?
my friends. Yomagan says, this is why I don't stream things with my friends. Also, I need friends to stream with to do so. You have friends. When you're not bullying me on stream, you have friends. Well, you bully me all the time, so actually no, I retract that statement. Yeah, can you guys hear Hans a little bit better?
I really hope so.
Awesome, because my ear is being blown out right now.
Hope you can hear me better, guys. No, Damascus, the V2 is not getting the 12,000 RPM spindle. Jake didn't let me put it on.
The whole point of us testing these kits is not really okay. Well, I've maxed out the volume on Windows. This is annoying. A bit better, but not as good as you. Yeah, that's unfortunately gonna happen. Maybe this will help. Try now, Hans.
Oh, now? Maybe
Yeah.
now you can hear me, guys? Really hope so.
Yeah, this one needs to be stock as designed so that we can actually show off what the stock build is going to be like. There might be one little change. That's better. Perfect. Yes, awesome.
Ah, nice.
All right. YouTube music so in OBS you can change the desktop settings, the desktop audio. I just have it set quite low, just because I don't like the music being overpowering. I think the music can be a little bit overpowering in some streams. Like I watched the stream that I did the other day where I couldn't hear myself because I didn't have my earphones in. My earphones were being an asshole to me. So it was way too loud. Awesome. Kirill Nazarov, we got someone new here. How you doing, bud? Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. Anyone else new? Awesome. So have you managed to get those 4 inserts in?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
They are there.
Awesome. So you'll need 1 608 bearing.
Alright.
Which I'll need as well. I've done it again, folks. I've gone on stream and not prepped any of my parts. Was anyone at Nomad stream? Well, technically earlier today. It was at like 2 a.m. my time. I'm guessing no one was because most of my audience is the European side. Awesome. You got your bearing? So bearing just slots into the little parts inside the bearing housing.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just a concentricity bearing. It doesn't actually see any axial loading. So it doesn't matter that this is just a plain roller bearing. The thrust bearings that go on the outside are the ones that actually take the brunt of the force. That's okay. We love the frantic scramble to find things. Thank you. Thank you. That is my whole life, so you must love me a whole lot. Awesome. So the way most of what I designed works out is if it's going into the end of an extrusion, it's M12. If it's going into the sorry, not M12, 12 millimeter. If it's going into the channel with a T-nut, it's an M10. So if I ever tell you to do something, that's what I mean. That's the size I mean. So we need to take some M5 by 12s, and we're going to screw the bearing just temporarily. Oh, sorry, I missed one step. We're going to take some M3 by 40s first, and we're just going to close off that bearing, make sure that it's snug. M3 by 40s. Now, I am doing most of this build off the top of my head, just as a, like, trying to remember bits that I designed. Yes, I did design it, but remember, the V2 has mostly been finalized for over a year now. So it's been a while since I did a build. I think the last time I built anything to do with V2 was like February. So there's going to be things I forget or things I get wrong. So don't use this stream as a build along, just in case. I know some people like to do that on YouTube. Like, I used to do it with when Nero built his trident. That's what I did. I just followed his stream. And you guys, you gotta encourage Hans to speak, to say some stuff. But Jormungand, right? Be fair here. If you're gonna bully anyone, bully Hans for a bit. Right? He's the new guy. You're meant to bully him. I'm joking, by the way.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it's pretty good that the AC wiring behind me is not showing in stream, I guess. That could be a good point to bully.
Oh yeah, yeah. Your live AC wiring. You're
Yeah.
Are you at your uni right now? Are you in your uni room, or is this your room at home?
Yeah.
I will only bully people I know can handle it. Hans can handle it. Hans can handle it.
Oh, I can handle it.
Awesome. So grab the second longest C-beam, the one that doesn't have the holes in the side of it. Not soft, weak people. Jormungand's calling you soft and weak. Are you going to take that, Hans?
No, I mean, wait, let me turn the camera a little bit. Look at that AC wiring, that's not soft. I think that's it. Oh yeah, it's there.
I just gotta verify something real quick. So it looks like we might need to do some tapping already. Yeah, we're gonna need to do some tapping. Right, have you got your Ugga Dugga gun? Oh no. Hold on. No, we won't need to do any tapping. We won't need to do any tapping. So on one side of the C-beam, there should be 4 tapped holes. On the other side of the C-beam, just the top 2 are tapped. So the side that has the top 2 that are tapped to M5 is for the motor mount. And then the one that has the 4 M5s tapped is for the bottom mount. Sorry, it's for the bearing block assembly. Hans has the better beard and proper length of hair. Oi! You trying to say I'm balding? You trying to say I'm balding?
And that is something I can take.
Hard enough to break carbide. That, see, the chat comes to your aid. The chat just bullies me. I deserve it. I fully deserve being bullied. Right? But they're nice to guests. That's what I like to see. Right, where are you up to, bud?
Trying to get Fusion working on my tablet, to be honest. It
Oh,
was
cool.
very nice.
I deserve brisket. Yes, I do. I do deserve brisket. I can walk you through the whole thing if you want, instead of having to look at Fusion.
Okay, so I got the bearings in. Which part do I need here before I
So-
put these screws in?
So there is a one of these. I'll show you an example of what they look like. So where is it? I won't show you an example of what they look like because I don't know where I put them. I'll take it out and just show you. So it's like a little box section. It looks like a little box with a rounded part on the top. And it fits straight into that little piece there. Half an hour into stream and we've done one part.
Well, slowly, but we are getting there.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Can you see stream? Are you able to see stream? So if I go over to this one, that's what the part looks like.
Oh, it's a little bit behind for me. Oh yeah. I think I have it somewhere in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a printed part, right?
We're professionals. So whilst Hans catches up, how's everyone doing? How is everyone today? I will do my typical thing. Is this stream part 1 of 200? Yeah. It's gonna be. It's called viewer mileage. It's getting your money's worth, right? The more streams you have, the more entertainment you can have. Remember, there are 3 and all 3 are different heights. Yes, he's correct. They all sit. Sorry, this one sits flush with the assembly though, so it's the easiest one to find. Well, it should be at least. Any projects that anyone's
that's
working
a
on?
printed part, right?
Did you have you not done the printed part?
I either have lost it somewhere in my room or have forgotten to print it. So 1 second, I will send my Fibonacci to print me a new one.
Woo! We're professionals.
Can't find it.
We are professionals, I swear. Okay, whilst Hans goes to go print that, I'll get on with the rest of the assembly. Right, so
1 second.
so if you can look at the look at the top left screen, this assembly has 6 bolts that go on the front side of it. There are also 2 bolts that go in the very top. We're going to ignore those for now, and we're just going to we're going to ignore a couple of these. We're only going to use the top 2 for now because we're going to take it off in a second anyway. Also, our 2 accent colors and 1 is primary. Yeah, you can print them in whatever material you want. The odds are you'll have a lot of accent color left over, so you might as well print it in the accent color. You don't need to do it. The same with any of these. Like, you can print them in whatever color you want because they're going to be hidden most of the time. The only one that you really see is the Z-axis one, and just again, it doesn't look too bad. It is a quick print. It's a tiny piece. It'll be like 10 minutes, and we don't need it. We don't necessarily need it right now. So as long as he gets it printing, now, we can get on with the rest of the assembly and come back to it. Anyways. All right, whilst Hans is doing that, let's have a bit of a cuddle with this boy. Hey, buddies. Did I wake you up from your nap? Did I have to tire you out by taking you for an hour-and-a-half walk before stream so that you didn't mess around with my stuff? Yes, I did. Let's put money on the spaghetti print. You need it. Brisket is growing. He's nearly a year old. He's a year old in what day? What's the date today? It's the 23rd today. He's a year old in 7 days. In exactly 1 week, he is going to be a 1 year old. Yeah. And believe it or not, about 20 minutes after I set up stream with Hans earlier today at like 5. He ate through my Ethernet cable. So I had to scramble to repin a whole Ethernet cable just to get stream going today. Because this room doesn't get Wi-Fi, or it does, but it's really, really spotty. So next week we'll get a birthday stream. I'm not sure about birthday stream, but I have booked the day off just so I can take him out for a long walk. Yeah, I have done that. Alexa, workshop light on. There we go. Hey, it's a little lighter now. Brisket deserves me. Yo. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have a brisket stream. Hans, how's it looking?
It's looking pretty good. It should be printed in around 30 minutes or so. That's what it's telling me.
Yeah, it's a compressive load piece, so you can put it in the SS settings. But I just realized Hans and SS probably shouldn't be something you say in the same sentence.
Oh yeah, it's a very interesting combination of words.
Yeah, in the semi-structural, I'll say semi-structural. All right, for now, we just need to do the rails. So do you want to stick the what's it called on? Just this piece on to the extrusion. So the side that has the 4 tapped holes, so is going to be the front bit, and just put the first two screws in there. After that, we'll need some M3 T-nuts and some M3x10 screws. There's a lot less screws than V1.5 had. There's so much less.
Oh yeah, when I was checking out the model, I already saw on the FMGs that there is a lot less screwing to be done.
The FMJs, I made sure to put a lot of thought into where the screw bolts went, because if you didn't know, I didn't design the FMJs that are now popular. The FMJs I designed, I gave to Techmorphic, and Tech got them laser cut. My original ones were meant to be milled, and they had a lot less holes in them. And then Tech took it on, and they became popular because they could be laser cut. And because they could be laser cut, they were a lot cheaper. And people just started using those, so we adopted them as a standard.
That makes sense.
that's a big thing I like to do. It's one of those tricky things because you want to attribute everyone that's given you any kind of help along the way, but sometimes things are just so obvious or so repetitive, or something that there's complications behind the scenes, because like Tech full on made the F and J's, but he also took them from an idea that I originally had. So it's attribution's a hard thing, is what I'm trying to get at. Attribution's a hard thing to get right. Is Nero still streaming? Does anyone know? Want to see if I can pop in and be like, "Can you raid me, please? Can I have all your peoples?" Right. Awesome, you got your rails?
Oh. The second longest from these two, right?
Yeah, the second longest for the y-axis. And there should be a bag full of... No, he finished an hour ago. Okay. Yeah, there should be a bag full of rail carriers. Before we do anything, let's make sure these get marked off. Do you have a marker?
Oh, let me get that quickly. Oh wait, I don't just have a marker. I just found a new use for my really fancy label printer. I'm going to label them up.
So what I'm trying to do is I want to mark the carriages that come from a certain rail. So I'm just going to do R1, R2, and then on one side, which is going to be my starting side, because I want them to go on the same way that they came off. Right? I'm going to write R. So this means that it goes R, R1, R2 in that order. So from left to right, in my case. I don't know why I chose R, but I'm going to use different letters for the other rails in a second. So I'll just do Y on this one. Y, Y1, Y2. So just so that you guys can see, this is what I mean. Because matching rails is more important than rail order, but rail order also helps. Just helps make things a little bit more predictable. Where is it? Oop. What the hell is going on? My monitor's going crazy. Holy shit. I don't know why that happened. My OBS is going mad. It's literally glitching all across my monitor. Oh no, it's Discord that's doing it.
I mean, Discord didn't really want to comply at the start, so I wouldn't be surprised.
What on earth is happening? I'm gonna video this because you guys won't believe me if I'm gonna video this and put it on Discord. This is currently what Discord is doing, and when I open OBS, something balked. Windows is behaving really weird. Jesus, nothing wants to go right this stream.
I guess the world really didn't want this stream to happen. First UPS, now then Discord, and now OBS too.
And don't forget Brisket. Brisket also tried to get the stream cancelled.
Oh yeah. True.
What's chat saying? Right. I've stuck it in general chat for people who want to see what my monitors are doing right now. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. I put a box on my F11 key.
Oh yeah.
That might
maybe
explain
that-
it. That might explain it. So it was trying to constantly my fault. My fault.
But it's nice and labeled.
Hey Dominic, how you doing?
Hey Dominic.
User area, yeah. Yeah, it's completely user area. That was entirely my fault. Entirely my fault. Right, let's go back to what I wanted to actually show you. What was I trying to show you? There we go. So what I've done is I've marked one side of the rail with just a letter. So in this case, it was Y. Then each rail, so Y1, Y2, and I want the order when it gets put back together to be Y, Y1, Y2, just to keep the same order. It doesn't matter too much if Y1 and Y2 get mixed up. It's not as bad as not using the same rail. The reason we use the same rails is so that the preload, because the preload is set to the rail standard, to the rail itself. It's not just a magical preload that happens. They actually get matched to the rails. Hey, Excessive Builds, how you doing, bud? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Hey there, Excessive.
You caught me there. I nearly said excessive by accident. Excessive. I really struggle to say excessive. I can't speak. I really struggle to say excessive. Cool. So now the rails are all marked up, let's make sure that we take the carriages off and put them somewhere safe. Where can one buy this machine if you're from South Africa, been longing to build one? Probably couldn't buy one in South Africa. I know Joburg has a few 3D printing stores. So if you head to Joburg, if you're in Gauteng or anything like that, maybe go visit. It's either Joburg or Pretoria. Or find a friend who's going to visit. I go to SA like once a year. So I might be able to bring one down at some stage. But currently the V2 kits aren't in production yet. Right, because I know the direction these are going to go on, I know they're going to go on from the front backwards. I'm going to make sure that that letter was oriented to the front of the build, to where the bearing block is. And then I'm going to clip it in. I know I haven't put the T-nuts in yet. The reason for that is I'm going to put T-nuts in aligned on the other side first, just so that they're vaguely in the right direction, then repeat it on the other side. I just need the other rail as a reference point. So that... Ooh. The camera kept... Why are you not working? Oh well, webcam's not working. What makes this machine different to the first Milo? Well, technically it's not the first Milo. The V1.5 was the 5th production-ready one, and there was a bunch of middle ones in between. It's got a bigger build volume. It's a much easier build. The whole point is it's more of a quality of life thing. Performance is around about the same. It's got a larger capacity for accessories, things like fourth axis, tool changer, all that kind of stuff. It has 2 modes that it can be built with. So the x-axis is either going to be a Milo standard x-axis or a Miley standard x-axis. And the difference between a Milo one is the Milo, the whole bed moves. With the Miley, it's just the build plate that moves. And they're slightly different sizes. So Hans is building a Miley, I'm building Milo. Could you fit all the T-nuts to the rail, then slide them in? You can, but it's a pain in the arse. I find this just to be quicker. I say that whilst also not doing the part that I was going to do and taking a million years to do it. Here's the thing about building on stream, is it makes everything take like 10 times longer. But it also makes it less, not strenuous, less, I don't know, annoying, because I get to speak to people. I get to speak to the best community in the world. Genuinely, the best community in the world. Even Jormungand. Even him. I am behind, lol. Only came back to 3D printing and all 3 months ago. Been away for about a year. Was working in Seychelles. Oh, cool. I have some family who live out in the Seychelles. Well, I have some yachties that live out in the Seychelles. So that I pretend to call my family. Awesome. So I'm just going to take these clips off now. We are indeed. Yes, you guys are. And if you like the community that we've built up here, make sure to join either the Discord or to smash the like button. I can't believe I just said smash the like button. Hit the like button. Do you know what? Smash it, stomp it, destroy it. Pretend like it's your ex. I don't have an ex. Oh, that's cute. You've got kids, don't you? Did you meet the love of your life the first time round? Button the smash like. Yes.
By the way, check. How many M3 nuts should I fit in? Like for each hole, or is it
for each hole? Yeah. We're not doing what we did for V1.5, where we did every other hole, like Vorons do. Voron does that because they don't really see very much force on how they're moving on any of their gantries. So they don't need to, and the precision of a 3D printer is not the same as a CNC, so they don't need to worry about it as much. Whereas for us, you can, if you put strain gauges on it or put an indicator on it, when the spindle is about to make contact, you can actually take a reading of how much the bed gets pulled up when the spindle engages, because a natural thing for like either a drill or an end mill to want to do is it wants to push the flutes down into the workpiece, which in turn means that the column gets that means that the column is trying to pull up on the piece, and you can physically take a reading on how far the bed bows upwards if you're taking a really deep cut.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I like taking deeper cuts.
And you like taking big cuts. Yeah. If no one knows, if the people on stream don't know this, Hans is the guy who does steel on Milo pretty consistently. And your Milo is not even that beefed up, is it? Well, when you started those cuts, it wasn't
Yeah.
that beefed up. At least you've
Yeah, I
beefed
mean,
it up.
right now it's not even that beefed up because basically it has the hois and a really big chunk of epoxy granite, but other than that, there is nothing much extra about it. I
Yeah.
mean, now it has the ball screws, but before it didn't. And I was cutting stainless. That's my go-to material right now in steel because it's a bit less messy for me, somewhat than regular steel. And
Okay.
I did cut the ball screws on Milo, so it handled hardened steel pretty alrightly.
Yeah.
Better than I expected.
Yeah. But your epoxy granite isn't a structural piece, is it? It's just you've just basically you've done the equivalent of bolting it down to an epoxy granite table, haven't you? Because you've filled the electronics box. It's not a structural
I filled the
thing.
electronics box.
Like, it doesn't increase the stiffness of the actual machine itself. I need some M3 by 10.
It was mostly just for vibrations.
Yeah, it helps with vibrations and stuff like that. It's good dampening method. You can achieve the same thing by just bolting the machine down to concrete if you had a big concrete slab.
Actually, that's what I'm planning right now to my Milo. I'm going to get some concrete from my dad over here, and we're going to fill the base of my steel table, so it will weigh like around 160 kilograms. So Milo is getting a pretty heavy base.
Nice. Your dad sounds awesome. The fact that he'll just you know what? Well, that's fine. We'll pour some concrete for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, today I even got the little base plate for it that I will have to drill and tap right from here. So basically, I'm just going to like drill holes on this and bolt Milo to this, and this will just go into the concrete and basically just connect the two.
Yeah.
Pieces together.
Yeah, that's one of the. It's not a design flaw. It's just something I couldn't achieve with Casa, because the thing with Casa is like, it's an enclosure that's meant to fit everyone's. 99% of people's setups, and 99% of people aren't bolting things down to big heavy blocks of concrete and or filling their entire electronics cabinet up with epoxy granite. But it does mean that you lose the ability to bolt it directly down to a stiff work surface, and that can oftentimes help quite a lot with performance. Hans, my friend, you need to share more stuff from Jormungand. He shares tons of stuff. He literally posts on YouTube at least two or three times a week. It's just in the form of shorts.
Yeah, I mean now, I mean now it's a bit slowed down because my Milo is not working. I'm waiting on some locking collars for the war screws because I may have forgot about them when I was building it. So it's not really operational right now. I had the ball screw on the x-axis like slide out 2 times, so I was like, okay, I'm going to wait for the colors. But surprisingly, the epsilon axis, I think one of the bearings are like so good of a press fit that it's actually keeping the ball screws in place. So I didn't even have any problems on epsilon, only on X. That was just sliding out all the time.
Okay. Is this why you asked me whether or not you should have locking collars on your x-axis? It's because, so generally, I've got an example of a ball screw here. So ball screws have a machined end on them. I'll come a bit closer to the camera for you. So ball screws have one flat end generally, and one machined end. And the machined end it's a lot thinner than the actual diameter of the screw itself. So this is a 1204 ball screw, so 12 mil here, and then it reduces to an 8 mil piece here. So generally you've got one floating bearing, so in here is just a normal roller bearing, and that can move back and forth, and the whole point is it can grow with the thermal expansion of the ball screw itself. And then the other side is the only bit that actually has bearings that can take a radial load, sorry, not radial load, an axial load, so this kind of up and down direction. And the way you secure it in place is there's a little square nut that you screw into the back of that, and that stops the screw from being able to move back and forth. And I'm guessing, Hans, is this the piece that you're missing? Did you forget to install this bit? That little nut there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, my boss screws are not even secured. I'm really surprised that when I first did the test cut that I uploaded to Showcase, that it actually finished, because like the screws weren't even secured at all.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone's wondering, those 1204s are the size of ball screw that we're going to be using on Atlas, and just not necessarily in that size. I only follow this stream, nothing else, only for Brisket and his weird balding friend. Oi! You're mean today. Stop taking the piss out my hair. Just because Hans has got luscious long hair. Right, I'm going to take the other carriages off now. Whilst the carriages are off,
Thank
if
you,
you build...
Bulldog.
Whilst the carriages are off, it's a good idea to grease them up. The ones that came with the LDO kits are... The test for them is that if they don't fall down when you pick them up vertically, then they're greased well enough. Whether or not you want to put more grease on them is up to you. Probably not going to, just because I don't like handling grease if I don't have to. All the best people are balding. Is that you saying that you're balding, Steve? We need to get you another camera so that we can actually see what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a pretty basic setup right now, so I'm not surprised that it's. Wait, let me try to. Maybe.
It's all right, bud. I personally always soak in
like
IPA, and it's not a bad idea. Jose, you are correct. You are correct. You probably should grease those carriages. Let it be known that I am wrong. I'm probably wrong here, but that I am also quite lazy in this regard. Jose is correct. You should probably do it. God made only a few perfect heads, the rest are covered with hair. You say that, but I was so problematic as a kid. I've got scars all across my head. From jumping in the pool at the shallow end, from falling out of trees. I was an injury-prone child. There was also the fact that my sister used to beat the living daylights out of me when I was a kid. She once convinced me to let her paint me with acrylic based paint, all over my body. In return, she would give me a can of Pringles. I think that was a good trade, to be honest.
Oh, that was an amazing trade.
Yeah. Don't tighten any of the M3 rail screws down just yet. Leave them a little.
I'm not tightening.
Yeah, just leave them a little bit loose. We're going to tighten one just so it doesn't move around when we're doing other bits, but don't tighten the rest up just yet. What we do for a Klondike bar. That's a very American thing. We don't have Klondike bars here. Yes, people, please grease your rails. I started losing mine at 18. Yeah. I went from a fairly full head of hair to what I am now in about 2 years. Like the first kind of video where I appear online was the first year of me balding. I think that was at Smurf in when did we first go to Smurf? So it was Smurf last year, 2024. So it's 2023. So between 2022 and 2023, that's when I lost my hair. What we did for a Yorkie. Thomas, hashtag blame Jormungand. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. We always blame Jormungand.
But I'm pretty happy that I still have hair.
Awesome.
So, my cat is trying to take care of it because for this, I think this was the 4th day in a row that he woke me up at like 4 a.m. So it was amazing. He wanted to play.
Oh, hey Raj, how you doing? Oh yeah, have a look at the new stream elements pop up, and father is bald, so are my older and younger brother. Oh, fair. Awesome. Have you got both your rails on yet? Have you managed to get both your rails on?
Almost.
Cool.
I'm getting the second one screwed in.
Cool.
And I think I just heard my printer finish, so we got that part too.
Nice.
I really hope that was my P1S, because my A1 Mini is printing little cable covers with the plate changer, so I'm not sure which one finished, but I didn't hear a plate drop, so I'm pretty sure it's the P1S.
Oh, cool. There's no issues then. Right. Are these all? I can't remember. Did I get rid of those, or did I keep them? Oh no, I got rid of them. All good. I missed your Micron build. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, the Micron build is going well, actually. The reason I don't actually want to do a full build stream of it. Like, I've already started working on it. The only reason we didn't was because Hans was having some UPS difficulties with getting his kit. So, so yeah, that's pretty much the only reason we did it. Cool. We're gonna flip this entire. Well, tighten up one of the screws at the very end tightly. It doesn't matter which side, just so that it stays in relatively the same position. And then we're gonna flip the entire thing over. And we're gonna install the 2080. Now they've tapped both sides of this, but you don't need both sides of it. Oh, all's well with you? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I think Hans is good as well. I think everyone's good.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's chilled. Everyone's having a good time. Hey Jack, how you doing? Jake, is this the Thor hammer ship that makes the collab stuff? Yes, it is. So we're going to be working on that next, actually. So we're just going to install this bit, and this doesn't need to be, we're going to take this off in a bit anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's entirely right, but we are going to use it just to index some measurements off of, some rough measurements off of. So if you want to get the bearing block and screw it into the 2080.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the Thor hammers assembly. You'll understand what that means in a bit because it just looks like Thor's hammer when it's all put together. Kirill, why did you decide to introduce new joint on Y and Z on V2? Because tramming became an issue for new people. Tramming on V1.5 is kind of, if you don't know what you're doing, it's kind of like poking around in the dark and hoping to find a pin, right? It's not the easiest thing to do. And shimming works, but you need to apply a fairly consistent amount of downward pressure to do it. And when you're doing that by hand, it's just a pain in the ass. It's just a pain. Once you get it trammed, it's technically a stiffer joint. V1.5/V1.6 is technically a much stiffer joint mechanically, just because of the way it's set up. But in terms of an ease of use thing, in terms of I'm going to need to tram this machine a few times in its lifetime, having a platform which you can completely separate the Z-axis from without having to do anything else, and being able to tilt it forward and backwards much easier, and being able to shim the front or back depending on where the tram needs to go, makes it a much nicer experience. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a tramming video on this channel. It's like 12 minutes long. Go watch that and you can see what I mean about how the Z-axis is trammed on V2. It makes such a big difference just to the everyday ease of use of it. Where are you at, Hans?
Searching for a screw.
Have you dropped it? Have you dropped it?
No. I just lost it on the table. I'm not sure where it is, but I know I had one there, but I don't know where it went.
I didn't lose it.
I didn't drop it because.
It's like, I love how you're like, oh no, I didn't lose it. I just dropped it, and I can't find it. So you've lost it.
I mean, I did lose it, but I don't think I dropped it. Because the cat didn't come and try to play with something under the table, so.
Oh, fair.
Oh yeah, of course. I just put some screws on it.
We haven't seen the cat on stream yet. Excessive. You are not an engineer if you cannot find things in your workplace. No. If you lose things in your workplace, it's a sign that you are an engineer. If you lose every bolt that you've put in your hands, or put it down in one place and walk off and forget about it, and then spend the next 20 minutes trying to look for it, that's when you know you've made it as an engineer.
I mean, then I will make a pretty good engineer because I never can find anything in my. But I would say workshop, but it's my bedroom too. So let's say goodbye to this really nice ABS glass fiber part.
Oh.
That's what I had loaded in the previous. I was like, let's flip it from that. I mean, not that I will see it ever again, but still.
Do that all the time. Yeah. I mean, it's the ADHD in most people who, the people attracted to these kinds of hobbies, right? You can lump them in with people who are attracted to Warhammer, to D&D, to figurine painting in general, people who like making stuff. whether it be artistic, whether it be, we're all ADHD. There's all kinds of things, and just the ability to put something down and walk away with it is tantamount to the mental state that we find ourselves in with these hobbies. Awesome. Right, so Hans is getting caught up with that. For now, I'm going to explain a fairly complicated joint to you whilst we're waiting. I see, you're looking forward to see what people will come up with to reinforce it. Yeah. This might upset Hans a little bit, but I didn't. One of the upgrades I didn't look at for V2 was to make it stiffer. I wasn't looking at that because I don't design the machines to be for steel. I design them for aluminium because that's what the majority of people are going to be messing with. Yes, there are people who go crazy and do stainless steel and mild steel and stuff like that, like Hans over here. And that's cool and all, but it's not what the majority of people are going to mess with. The majority of people are going to want aluminium because they're doing 3D printers or they're doing artsy projects or stuff like that, stuff that doesn't require steel, right? So I wanted ease of use whilst maintaining the same performance in terms of material performance as V1.5. At some stage, someone will come out with a mod for V2 which makes it 10 times stiffer. And that's okay, right? I'm not designing for that 10% of people. I'm designing for that 90% of people. At my work, we have a rule: proper prior planning. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. God. First you get me with excessive, and now you're getting me with proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Right, back to what I was doing. I said I was going to explain a joint. Unfortunately, whilst I do try and make everything as simple as possible and try and reduce the count of nuts and bolts and different sizes and different lengths of things, this joint has a lot of different length of screws, and I will explain why they have that just here. So the way the Thor's hammer assembly works is I'll actually get rid of, give me a second, get rid of all this stuff. Where's the one? I can't. Right. The way it works is you have a big mass at the end, which kind of looks like a big hammer or a big mace of some kind, hence why I call it the Thor's hammer assembly. Now, this wraps around the entirety of the extrusion. So it's a big box that wraps around it and then gets bolted directly to it to try and make this core as stiff as possible, with as few bits as possible. Now, in order to maintain the trammability of things, to make the trammability of things easier, imagine the Y column, the Z column is there. Sorry, this is only the Y assembly for now. In order to assemble it and then also use it, I need to do blind joints in some places that go all the way through the extrusion, and in some places I needed to do blind joints that only go partially the way through the extrusion. So the Z-axis actually connects to these corner connectors here, and then the bolt for the front and the back corner connectors goes all the way through the extrusion, all the way down to the bottom to try and maintain as much stiffness as possible. The reason I don't do that on all four is because if I did it on all four, every time you took the Z-axis off, this plate here wouldn't be attached to anything. So I use the two center screws as blind joints to attach it together so that the assembly stays intact, and then I use the outer ones to actually attach the Z-axis to the Y-axis. Hopefully that made a bit more sense than I think it did. It's not a clever I don't think it's a clever idea. I think it's necessary to achieve what we needed to achieve. Etal, how you doing, bud? Is it the same work area as on V1.5 and V2? No, V2 is a lot bigger. Well, in terms of square area, it's a lot bigger. The x-axis is 10 mil bigger on Milo. It's actually smaller on Miley. Miley is 310. Milo is 350. V1.5 was 340 in X. On V1.5 in Y, that was 160. On Milo and Miley, it's 200 in Y, and that's the big one. That makes a huge difference in what you can actually do on it. Yeah. Whereas V1.5 is 160, and then the Z-axis is the same at 120. Technically, Miley is actually 110 millimeters in Z, but the moment you put a fixture, but that's just because the fixture plate is already pre-built into Miley. Whereas on Milo, if you took that fixture plate off, you'd get the full 120, but if you had the fixture plate on, it would still be 110. It's confusing, but they basically work out to be the same. It's just that the fixture plate is integral to a Miley, but the fixture plate isn't integral to Milo. I wonder if someone would ever do an automatic tool changer on it. Look on the shorts. We have one that's in the works. We have two that are in the works, actually. A simplified one and a slightly more complicated one. Yeah, have a look at the channel. It's either in the shorts or it might be a full-size video, a full-length video. By full length, I think it's just more than 3 minutes. Right, are you caught up, Hans?
Yes, the matted plastic is blocking the screw from screwing into the little heated insert, so I'm just doing it from the other side first.
Oh, yeah. Is that are you using the heated inserts that came with kit?
No, I'm using my own heated inserts.
You're using your own. That shouldn't happen then. Yeah, I might need to revisit that.
Didn't you say the wrong heated inserts came with the kit, or those weren't these ones?
Yeah, it might be that the heated inserts you have are slightly bigger than the Voron ones. Yeah, we have a collet-based tool changer. So the idea is, instead of having a pneumatic tool changers are better. Don't get me wrong, they're better, but they're really expensive. A tool changing, an ATC spindle is like the same cost as, and probably more expensive than a V1.5 was. And whilst that's technically a simpler setup, after you've introduced a compressor for the pneumatic control, a bunch of plumbing, a bunch of control stuff, it gets even more expensive. And then you're looking at tool holders. Each one of those tool holders is about $60 if you get a cheap one. By the time you have an eight tools worth of tool changing ability, you're looking at about £3,000. And it's expensive. The collet-based tool changers basically use the inertia.
They do look cool.
Yeah. They do exist. They do exist. And then mad people, again, Hans, likes to mess around with them. The collet-based ones are cool because the only expense is you need another nut, another spindle nut, and a collet. And then you also need a bunch of some printed parts and some screws for assembly and some heated inserts. By the time you get 8 tools worth of tool changing, you've spent maybe $100. Whereas, so it's the difference between going industrial with something or doing something at home that works 90% of the time, 99% of the time, but may fail on occasion. but it's a lot cheaper. So it swings and roundabouts, swings and roundabouts. We've also got a 4th axis in the works and a vacuum plate. So if you want to get the real good suck,
I'm going to quit.
you can use vacuum plate.
Are
Are you swapping? We've lost hands. I think he's swapping over.
No, the Discord just somebody kicked the headphones on or off.
Oh.
It switched to the phone's speaker. I was like, where did you go?
Okay.
Should be good now.
Let me first get a machine built first. Yeah. You're probably gonna have to be waiting until V2 comes out, to be honest. There aren't really very many stores left around the world even that have a V1.5 kit left. That still that still blows my mind that we've managed to get a Milo in every single hemisphere. Like something that I came up with in my university bedroom. Has now gone to every single continent other than Antarctica. I know there's some in Asia. I know there's some in Europe. I will wait for V2. Yeah, V2 should pre-orders. Jose, you might need to what's it called, to double check on this one. But pre-orders in December time, maybe. Does that sound about right? So long as the kits get changed and we manage to build these in time. Do you have any info regarding the amount of kits sold worldwide? I think it was around about 500. Yeah, I think it's about 500. We have 200 serial Milos. I know there's about 50 more Milos that I'm aware of that haven't been serialized. So yeah. Possibly we just have to get these kits fixed / tested. Yeah. How did you build the one at the LDO headquarters? Because Dave was telling me that they've already built one, but obviously there's all the extrusion hole weirdness that we need to get fixed. So how did they manage to build it? Yes, that's when I get my 13th check. Going to buy one. How do I get it serialized? You need to build it. Go to the serial channel. Use the serial request command. It's been a while since I checked it out. That will ping one of the moderators. We'll double check the video to see if it's moving and if it's cutting something. And if it does, then you get the serial, and you get to go on all the serial channels. You get access to all the serial channels. It's really easy. Basically, video it, put it up on serial. We'll check it. Bam, you're in. That is a fantastic question. Yeah, Jose works for LDO. So you can always ask him questions. Are you struggling there, Hans? Are you okay?
A little bit. I think the heated inserts that I used are not long enough. So right now I'm doing a very sketchy solution of just massing them a little bit further in.
Okay. That surprises me that they're not long enough, because the ones I did, oh yeah, you're using Voron sized parts, aren't you? Okay. That makes sense. The ones I designed, if you don't know, I prefer the CNC Kitchen heated inserts. Hey, Akram. I prefer the CNC Kitchen heated inserts. And they're only 3 mil deep, whereas these ones are 4.7 mil deep. I like the CNC kitchen. So whenever I design anything, I design it first for the CNC kitchen sized ones, and then I do the Voron sized ones after that. I copy everything over, change the whole sizes and the whole depth to fit Voron, and that's how I support the Voron assembly ones. Brisket is snoring by my feet, so if you hear a rumbling, that's him. The CNC kitchen ones are just so much easier to design for because the sizing that you need is 4mm diameter, 4mm deep. You can just remember that really easily. 4mm diameter, 4mm deep. Whereas the Voron ones are 4.7mm diameter, I think, and then 5mm deep, I think. It's just not as easy to remember. What will come with the kit? I printed non-Voron parts. It doesn't come with CNC kitchen ones, I'm afraid. It doesn't come with CNC kitchen ones, I'm afraid. Luckily, there's less heated inserts than there was in V1.5, so less parts. All the M5 ones, so the Y-axis motor mount, the Y-axis hold downs, all the M5 ones are a universal size, so they work with both CNC kitchen ones and the ones that LDO are going to supply. Because as far as we know, Voron doesn't have a standard M5 heat insert size, so we could choose that size. So the only things that you need to reprint are you'll need to reprint the X-axis bearing and motor block, the Y-axis bearing block, the Z-axis bearing block, I don't think the Z-axis motor mount needs them. In these kits, we accidentally sent the smaller one, CNC kitchen size ones, but for production, it should be Voron size. Yeah, exactly. So you'll get Voron size ones in the kit when they come out. It also makes it easier for LDO because they don't have to supply a bunch of different size heat inserts, because that was a real problem with V1.5 in the batch 1 kits for V1.5. I think it was the 2.5mm ones heat inserts were not great. Hey Cobra, how you doing? They were the wrong size and they just fell straight through the holes. But LDO did the right thing and they sent a bunch out to replace it. Just a genuine shout out, because Nomad said this on stream yesterday. Just a genuine shout out. I know LDO's been having a little bit of trouble this year, but there is no better company in this space that I would rather work with, right? And when I say that there was some trouble with this or trouble with that, that's not a slight on LDO, because no matter what, if you're producing anything in volume, if you're producing kits or parts or anything like that, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be things that get wrong. That's just part of the process. And LDO goes out of their way to make sure that if there is a mistake, they fix it. If something happens, they fix it. Their community efforts, whether it's been social or just straight up supporting the creators that they work with, have been fucking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I just want to give a quick shout out to LDO because honestly, they're a great company. If you ever get a chance, say thank you to Jose, say thank you to Jason. Honestly, they're an amazing company to work with. Not too bad, just redoing my speeds and feeds for the entire 50 tool library. Oh no, I hate that. I hate doing that. This is why I have, so tool 1 to 10 for me is just standard sizes of with standard feeds and speeds for like 6mm and 3mm end mills in my tool library. And then everything after that is whatever tool I specifically have. So I just have generic for the first 10, and then after that, I just change it up. And Fusion does a really annoying thing where if you set up your library into a bunch of different, into a bunch of smaller folders, it names the first tool in that in every folder tool 1, and it confuses Moss sometimes. So Moss will be like, oh, you've already installed this tool because this is tool 1. I'm just going to start the next part of the program, even though tool 1 in the first library might have been a 3-flute end mill, and tool 1 in the other library might have been a chamfer end mill. So I've had to consolidate everything into a single library, and it makes it a pain when you're trying to find the right tool. Hey, One Solid Cube. Hi again. On materials, could you mill brass out of the box? On an out-of-the-box kit. I'm thinking about doing leather stamps. Second question, could you mill parts for a more rigid plane from doing harder metals? We talked about this earlier in stream. There's very few modifications you actually really need to do to get Milo going, to get Milo working on mild steel. Hans, if you haven't watched the rest of the stream down there, he does mild steel, stainless steel, hardened steel all the time on Milo. It's not designed for it. The machine does struggle a little bit every now and again, but you can manage it. You can manage it. As for brass, brass is one of the easiest materials in the world to cut. It's so nice to cut. So honestly,
Jack, I have something that I will use on V2. You said it's not as stiff as 1.5, but I will make it cut stainless pretty nicely. I got this little high feed mill for it, so
oh nice.
From next works.
Nice. Discord, I don't want to swap my audio input. I get it. I have 2 audio inputs. Stop fighting with me. What are you doing? Discord, fuck off. Okay, are you gonna... Right, Hans, can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. You went quiet for a bit.
Is there a post-processor for Milo/Miley? Not yet, but it's really easy to edit the current post-processor for V2. It's literally just changing dimensions. That's it. I have to step away for a little bit, but we'll be back soon. No worries, dude. Yeah, One Solid Cube. Like for going back to what we were saying earlier, for brass, you can do brass on a tiny one of those Genmitsu routers. You'll be fine. It's a really easy, really nice material to work with. It doesn't gum up. It chips so nicely. It's quite a hard material. It's harder than aluminium, and just which makes it cut so well. So yeah, you can do leather stamps on it.
I mean, if you want a less gummy aluminum alloy, I can really vouch for 775 and 2007. I really love those alloys.
What size spindle comes with the kit, Jake? Just so I print out the right size part. It's an 80 mil diameter, but it's not a 2.2 kilowatt spindle. It's generally 1.5 kilowatt spindles come in 65 mil bodies. The one that comes with an LDO kit is still 1.5 kilowatts, but it's an 80 mil spindle. The reason for that is because they don't cheap out on the bearings. It's actually a really good spindle. They actually have proper angular contact bearings in it. Brass, you don't need cooling for either. You don't really need cooling for a lot of things on Milo. I say this quite a lot on the Discord. There's a lot of people who use mist coolers. Mist cooling is a hazard to your health. If you are in a small room and you don't have some kind of system like Hans has to collect mist, and what's the word? What's the term? Is it deatomize it to take it out of the air? I would avoid it. Milo is more than happy to cut without coolant. It's more than happy to cut without coolant. You just need to make sure you're taking a big enough chip. If you aren't brave with CNC machines, if you aren't taking a big enough chip, you're leaving all that heat inside the part, and that part gets really hot, and it either warps it or makes it gum up or does a whole load of things to it. My personal philosophy about it is if you're not pushing your machine hard enough to take a big enough chip to keep the machine cool anyway, coolant is not going to help you. You need to be able to run it without coolant at any time before you should even start thinking about coolant. Coolant is something you add because you want good surface finishes for a hobby machine, in my opinion. Obviously, there are people who use miscoolant, and it does help performance. I'm not saying it doesn't help performance. I'm saying that it's not worth your health in a small enclosed room if you don't have a way of handling it. We need a copy and paste of Hans' setup. It's really simple. All he's done is he's done HOIs, which is a standard mod, and he's filled the electronics bay with epoxy granite. That's it. Oh, and he's put ball screws on it, but the ball screws are a different thing entirely.
Yeah, and by the way, you can actually mill steel without any coolant too. When I first did stainless and the mild steel, I didn't use any coolant, just airless, so it's not even needed for harder materials usually.
Yeah.
Just a good coating on the anvil.
I wouldn't use ISO if I was doing steel though. That's probably a disaster ready to... If you don't know, ISO, like isopropyl alcohol, is a common coolant used for aluminium cutting because aluminium is non-ferrous. It doesn't spark when you mill it. So it's a fairly safe material to use it on, and it works really, really well. All the, who makes the M8 cube? What? Datron uses pretty much, they recommend ISO on all the machines when you're cutting aluminium. If you used ISO on steel, because steel is ferrous and can spark, you're just effectively creating a firebomb. You're just inviting your enclosure to blow up.
Yeah, pretty much. When I cut steel for the first time, I remember that I even put like the isopropyl bottle I had out of the room. I was like, nah, I'm not taking anything of this. Yeah.
Air-assist can work, then spray paraffin on part while I'm finishing up. Yeah, you can do that. Kerosene, which is what WD-40 is also really good for getting really nice part finishes on aluminium. So if you're coming around to your finishing op and you've got a spray can of WD-40, just spray it on real quick and it'll make the finish look really good. And that way you're not constantly flooding your room with fumes and mist. You're only spraying it once. So ISO when milling titanium is the way to go. Yeah, no. For those of you who don't understand that joke, titanium is flammable. A lot of people don't know this, but titanium chips, just like magnesium, is flammable. It's highly flammable. It's so flammable, in fact, that you can't pour water on it because you'll end up just making it explode.
Here's some titanium.
What?
This is something I will probably attempt on V2.
You're a madman. How's that part coming along? We've been waiting
like a meter long bar.
Stop getting distracted, Hans. How is that part coming along? What's the hold up?
It was just throwing stuff off.
Okay. Let's ignore that part for now. Screw it back onto the extrusion, and then we'll You can put the bearing block in later.
But it's working now. It's going inside.
Oh, it's going in finally. Okay, fine. Fine,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
make
yeah.
us wait. Just
I
make
was
us wait.
It's too busy grabbing stuff to show off.
Kirill, Hans got stuff for all occasions. Yes, he is like Mary Poppins, I swear. I don't understand how you're at university and you have the money to buy all this stuff. Then again, maker supplies in the UK is really expensive. Like, aluminium is about 3 or 4 times more expensive here than it is in mainland Europe. Whereas Hans seems to have really good aluminium suppliers, or just metal suppliers in general.
I mean, eating toast for a month goes a long way for getting, you know, a lot of material to work on.
I remember, yeah, I remember doing that at uni. When I was first developing V1.2, I think it was. I was doing it at university, and I could only spend, I think it was 40 quid a month on things. So I ended up buying the wrong size piece of aluminium, of extrusion, and it needed to be slightly longer. So what I did was I went to my university's job shop, got them to cut a piece off of another C-beam that I had, and then basically filed the threads off the center of a bit of threaded rod, of M5 threaded rod, and then passed that entire thing through the extrusion to mount it on both sides. So if you look at the really, really old videos, the y-axis is actually 2 pieces of extrusion butted end to end. But that was way back. That was nearly like 5 years ago now. That was, Jesus Christ, I've been doing Milo for half a decade. That makes me feel old.
Okay, we should be.
Okay, cool. Get that screw back on and let's get going. You just have a nightmare, little man. You just wake up from a nightmare. What's up? What's up, little baby? What are you growling at? Can you guys hear him bark? We're not old, we age like fine wine. Well, I hate wine, so that tells you all you need to know about how I think about myself. Oh, he's back in his bed. Yeah. If this is your first time joining us and you joined us late, this is Brisket. He's kind of the community mascot at this point. I've had him for nearly a year now, and he's the best. But he was a bit of an accident, weren't you, buddy? You were just my little accident.
Okay, I got it bolted on.
Awesome. So you're going to find the 2 shortest extrusions now. So these ones over here, and on both of them stick the screw M5x12s in the 2 middle tappings. Brisket is the CEO of Millennium. Maybe when he's a bit older. He still likes to lick his balls on occasion.
Okay,
so
two of the shortest extrusions.
Yeah, the 2 tiny extrusions. The ones that are 40 mil long. Just a reminder, folks, if you're just joining us now, thank you for coming. Thank you for being on stream with us. It always makes it so much nicer when I can interact with the community. If you do like what we do here and you want to donate, there are some links down in the description. If you want to donate to the project, it means that things go a little bit faster on the development side of things, and it means that sometimes I can actually pay my rent on time. No, I'm joking on
These
that.
guys, right?
Yeah, those ones. If you don't want to donate and you still want to put something towards the project, make sure you like the smash button. Sorry, smash the like button. Oh God, I've done a Nero. Every bit of popularity that we gain means the project can go a little bit further, more people are willing to donate, and it just makes it a much easier time for us. So thank you. I appreciate all of you. Even you, Jormungand, if you're still here. I think he's gone to bed by now. What time is it in the States now? Are we going to be getting the US contingent soon? It'll be like 6 or 7. $3 p.m. Okay, so is that East or West Coast? 3 in Colorado, so it'll be 4 p.m. on the West Coast. No, sorry, East Coast. Cobra, are you in Loveland? I need someone to 5 in the East, 2 in the West. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we might get some more of the Americans on. Cobra, can you convince me? Do I go Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Festival next year, 3D Printopia, or do I go to open source? Which one do I go to? Hey, Lewis. 6 p.m. on the east coast of Canada, eh? Sorry, that was a god-awful Canadian accent. I'm so sorry. Sorry. It's 4:52 a.m. here in Perth. Oh my god. I mean, if you go to Murph, you can have beers with me, so open source. Nice. Right, have you managed to get those screws in?
Where do I need to get the screws in?
Did you not install the M5 by 12s in the center? The 2 centerpieces?
Oh yeah, here.
Rundeboot.
Ah, I see, okay.
I think, from what I've heard, East Coast Rep Rat Festival, which is now 3D Printopia, is the oldest Rep Rap event. The oldest big one, at least. Remurf seems like the biggest out of the 3D printing exclusive ones. And a lot of announcements tend to get made there. But open source might be the best for the project because it gets people who aren't necessarily in the 3D printing world or the Rep Rat Festival world. It gets them into the project because we can get a booth there. But at the same time, there's a lot more, not competition, there's a lot of other things going on there that people might want to see rather than just coming to a CNC stand. For real though, Remurf is fun and the area is beautiful. Plus you have a Milo here you can use so you won't need to ship it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Do the screws go both sides or only one?
Both sides.
Ah, okay.
I agree with that logic. Yeah. I need to think about it more. This is all assuming that we have the money to do it anyway. And the Rockies are expensive, from what I've been told. I know the Canadian Rockies were expensive when I was there. Like Banff was not an easy place to live for 6 months.
Okay, that is good.
It's cheaper than California. Yeah, that's true. But what isn't cheaper than California? Weirdly enough, everyone tells me this, but Boston was the cheapest place I've been to in the States. At least the places I was going to. And loads of people told me that it was really expensive to live in Boston, but I didn't think so. Right, you've got those sorted. So we're going to do we're going to create a little box section. So with the slightly longer pieces, I think these are the second smallest ones. We're going to create a box section with, so one on one side, one on the other. Yeah. And these are blind jointed, so you need to screw them in nice and tight. I'm off, have fun. Cheers, Solid. Thanks for coming. When is Smurf next year? I think it's sometime in, it's not too far after Smurf, and Smurf is in March. I missed Smurf. I want Smurf to be the winter show. I prefer it as the winter show. Because it's always been that, oh, it's around about Christmas time, everyone's having fun. It's always been a more personal event. It's not like Smurf where, sorry, it's not like Rocky Mountain where you get a lot of stuff that's actually there to show off. Smurf is about being the community. It's about helping the community out and just being part of it. And the after party is always fun. Watching Nero dance is a spectacle, I'll tell you that. We went from being the new guys on the block in 2023 to Max and all the Voron guys coming up to me and knowing my name, which was a surreal experience. Like, it was really, really cool, but it is the first time I've truly felt like being part of the open source community, because obviously I feel like it with the Discord and the streams and stuff like that. I've got you guys here, but it's different when it's in person. When you can physically see the face of the person that you're talking to, or shake their hand, or this, that, and the next thing, or have that conversation just in real life. It just changes things. I'll check it out. Bit of a trek from Norfolk, but it's worth it. We'll grab a ticket. Yeah, Smurf is great. Awesome. Have you got both those in? Hey, Daniel.
Hey.
What would it take to get more usable Z travel on Milo? Just longer extrusions? No. You're not getting any more Z travel. I'll explain why. All right, I'll come in nice and close for you. So this is the Z plate for Milo. Now, in order to get more travel, you need to move the carriages closer together. If you get these closer together, you get a whole lot more unsupported section. And that, compounded with an already not very stiff 4mm frame, means your deflection goes really crazy. You've also got to fit a whole bunch of other features in this section here. So you would need to change the Z plate, right? Just to get over the fact that the shoulder is there. If Milo didn't have the shoulder, it would be a different story, and you'd be able to easily get more Z travel. But because Milo has that shoulder, you're not getting any more than 120 usable. So I would not even care. I wouldn't even bat an eye about getting more Z-axis travel. You can increase the rail length, right? But increasing the rail length doesn't do anything. It just means because you've still got that shoulder there, the shoulder height doesn't change, right? And if you can't, if the part that you have in your vise doesn't clear that shoulder height, you could have rails that go all the way to the moon. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't change anything. Hey, Jose. And trust me, 120 is enough. 120 is enough. I have yet to see anyone use more than 120 Z travel, unless Hans looks like he's about to say something to me.
Oh yeah. I mean, the build I'm doing to my 1.5, that's turning it into something that was once a 1.5. It will have, if I don't install the ATC carousel, I think around 300 millimeters of that travel, because it doesn't use a shoulder. I'm pretty sure it will be a nightmare to trim. I'm very sure about that, but it will be very fun. Because basically I think I got the plate for it too.
Yeah. But you're going, like you said, you're going away from having that shoulder. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The reason Milo has that shoulder.
Install rails on this.
Yeah, exactly. So you got a honking great bit of aluminium that you're attaching your Z-axis to. The reason Milo has that shoulder is specifically to be able to get the Y clearance, right? If it doesn't have that Y clearance, then your machinable distance in Y would be like 50 millimeters. It would be a tiny, tiny work area. So that's why you have that shoulder there. If you took that shoulder away, you're then left with the same kind of issue of how do you extend that Y clearance. And on a normal size mill, oh, kitty cat.
Oh yeah.
On a normal mill, they get away with that by having a huge cast iron piece that juts out along the Y-axis. We don't have access to cast iron, and asking people to do epoxy granite is a lot, especially for newbies to CNC. So we get away with that. We get around it by having that shoulder.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
not.
the way I will do the little, hanging out where the spindle will be, it will be like a really intensive thing to create, because I'm using steel tubing and steel plates that I will mill. So the steel tubing will fit into the plate, so it will make alignment a little bit easier, but I will have to weld a lot. So
Yeah.
it will be very fun.
You basically you have to work with steel at that point. And one of the goals with Milo is the only thing that you need to make it is maybe a drill and some Allen keys and some taps. Like, it's all hand tools. At the point where you're doing what Hans is doing, you need to either have access to a CNC machine already, or be able to cast something. And like I said before, epoxy granite is not for the faint of heart. It gets everywhere. It's also not as well understood in the public eye as people think it is. Right, have you managed to get that little box section created? Should look like that.
Like this?
Yep, perfect. So this is going to slide on and it's going to index against that bottom extrusion. So it should sit like that. So nothing on the top half, and then indexes across this piece here.
Yep.
Awesome. And if you want, you can put the top piece on and do the same thing. So just blind jointed it down. taller the less stability. Yeah, it's slightly more nuanced than that, but that's basically it. That's basically it. That's what I thought as well. Yeah, the thing is, like, even though Hans wants to do, that mod to make it a longer Z-axis, the reason he's doing that is to make it compatible with an ATC. He's not doing it because of lack of work area, unless that is what you're doing it for.
No, I'm doing it for the ATC carousel because first I wanted to do it with the regular 1.5 type of build and just use sticker extrusions, but then I quickly realized that for these little chunky guys, no, they won't fit in there.
Yeah.
So basically I have to either just make the rails longer and do a really complex, like, multi-part attached to the enclosure carousel, or just make the like wall Z-axis and Z-travel and Z-clearance longer, and that way I can just fit it in easily.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't think I ever was limited by Z-travel even once.
Yeah, because if you look at it like this, like, this is the Inception machine vice that most people use. It's a good thing my floor is carpet, because otherwise I would have just ruined my vice. So these are the Inception vices that most people use, right? These are like 30 mil tall. Right? And the LDO vice that's coming out, whether or not I'm allowed to talk about it, Jose, is about the same height. So you've still got 90 mils of travel that you can use in Z. And most of the time you're going to be limited to, yeah, the Bulldog vice, it's coming out soon. Most of the time you're going to be limited to your tool length. I have yet to see someone use an end mill that is longer than 60 or 70 mil of stick out. So even if you're using one of those big end mills,
so I'm switching to the other phone.
it's okay. Hans is just swapping over to a different phone. Even if you are using one of those big end mills, those long end mills, which I don't recommend because it's a lot of stick out, and it'll just end up deflecting. But even if you do use it, you'll still have like 20 mils of unused travel. The LDO vice looks really nice though. The only thing I've asked for them to change is to put some steel jaws on it, because the current ones are aluminium, which isn't a bad thing in itself. The aluminium tends to actually grip a little bit better, but the steel jaws will last longer. All right, can you hear me, Hans? Oh, he's having fun.
I think I should be back.
The music. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Could make the jaws interchangeable for aluminium. I think they are. They're installed on my.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Oh, cool. The jaws for the Bulldog are. Sorry, the Bulldog is installed on my Miley right now. If you give me a second, I might actually be able to take them off. I keep losing you every now and again, Hans. If you have one there, feel free to show. Yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm getting it. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. It's just installed on my machine at the moment. That's all. Right. Let's get a proper Allen key for this.
I'm not sure what happened, but I think I lost Discord voice.
You keep popping in and out.
I cannot hear you. I don't know why.
On my side. Are your earphones, is your battery or your earphones or whatever you're using to record charged up properly? It might just be a low battery thing. Right. There we go. We got time. Hans is a bit behind. Yeah, he's a bit behind. So this is the Bulldog vise. It's a split piece vise. So you have one clamping side and one stationary side. And from the looks of it, I think the jaws do come off because it's just a big. I think I can hear square. I think these do come off. There's definitely going to be what looks like a vice stop that comes with it. That's a good idea. It means if you're doing a lot of work, it's repeatable. Yeah, they do come off, says Jose. So the ones that are in here are aluminium at the moment. But yeah, it's a good vise. It looks like a nice vise. It's a split piece vise, so it has no maximum. The maximum capacity it has is basically the width of your table. Anodized surfaces on precision parts, I'm not a big fan of. I think at the very least, this bottom jaw here, which is a separate part, I think this needs to come unanodized. Completely unanodized. Just because anodizing can sometimes mess up the flatness of a part. Same thing with this one here. So this piece is actually loose. I think it's designed to be loose actually. But yeah, that needs to be, I think this needs to be, the anodizing needs to be stripped off of this. That's my only real issue, and it's a very small one at that. I think a few testers mentioned it. Yeah. The jaws need to be either steel or at least replaceable to steel. LDO needs to offer a replacement for them, and that one piece needs to be unanodized. Other than that, I'd still be happy to use it in the state that it's in.
Yeah, I mean, I have been daily driving the LDO vices, and so far it's pretty nice.
Oh, you're back. Hey, he's back.
Yeah.
Needs to be raw material, maybe surface grind for the precision. I don't think surface grinding aluminium is expensive, and I think it would be more expensive to do that. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I don't think it's worth it. It's not a high precision vise. A split vise should never be seen as a high precision vise. Even the Saunders Machine Works ones aren't high precision. Split vices have a very, very specific function in CNC, and that's oversized stock. Right, they're specifically designed to have a very wide jaw. And the precision should just come from clamping, and I wouldn't use it in more than a one-sided operation if I had the choice. If I don't have the choice because it's a really big piece of stock, I'd still trust it enough for a hobby level part. But yeah, having it milled but just not anodized would really help with that. Awesome. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to check to see if the depth of this is correct. So the little halo that we've just put on, the little hammerhead, needs to be 20 mil away from the end of the extrusion. So you can either check it with some calipers, if you've got calipers, by using the little depth stop. Don't worry if it's a few tenths of a millimeter off. So that's 20.3, for example. That's well within tolerance. Or if you really want to, you can take one of the pieces that you're going to be attaching to it anyway, put it up against the end, just like that. Just like that. And if that looks to be the same height as the difference between this surface and this surface, it's right, it's correct. If it's not, go back to the original steps. You might have an extrusion that's cut to the wrong size, anything like that, or something like that. I just ordered the LDO CNC starter kit and a Mesa card for Milo build. Oh, you're going Linux CNC. My heart goes out to you, man. My heart goes out to you. You are the braver of us too. I tried getting Linux CNC going once. I ran away very quickly. Another one of those things, like Linux CNC is great. It's honestly the best CNC firmware that you can get. It's just so complicated to set up. I would not be surprised if 90% of the people who started trying to get Linux CNC to work stopped and never made it to the end. Awesome. So, corner connectors. Hans, if I'm speaking too much, just let me know. So if you're ready to go, just let me know so I'm not wasting your time. Yeah? I got you. Can you hear me?
I'm not sure what's happening to Discord, but I cannot hear you again.
You can't hear me, but you can hear me on... Can you hear me on stream? Discord's being really weird at the moment. Okay. I think it's a mic setting. Input device. Yo, can you hear me?
Joining, maybe that's what it is.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Now I can hear you. Nice.
You can hear me? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Discord keeps changing my audio device. Right, so stop doing this. No, I don't want to switch devices. It keeps trying to switch my audio device. I don't want to switch my audio device, okay? Stop asking me. Right, sorry, not you, Hans, I'm talking about Discord. Right, corner connectors. So the first corner connector we're gonna do is, can you see how the bottom extrusion here is very loose?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the corner connector that goes from the top of that loose extrusion into the hammerhead. And you'll need two M8, so M5 by 8, and a corner connector, and 2 T-nuts for every single piece. So you'll need your M5 by 8s, which are just over there, your corner connectors, and then some M5 T-nuts. Good morning from Oz, just starting to self-source my V2. Nice, man. There's a lot more people self-sourcing V2s. I think it's because the project's more popular nowadays than when we started. So there's more people who are willing to do the self-sourcing. But congrats, dude. I hope you like the build. Keep us informed of how it goes on the Discord, because it makes a big difference when we have some feedback for a potential V2.1 or something like that. Hans, do you have a time that you need to finish, by the way?
Oh, really?
No. Do you? I'm asking. Do you have a time?
Oh, yeah, no.
No, okay.
Not really, cause like I think tomorrow my work starts at like 2 p.m. So if not for my cat, I have time to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll jump on the Discord for sure. Cool. We do have a channel dedicated to project builds and things like that. So if you want to do it through there, you can show people, because a lot of people just have forgotten about it. Etel, how much could you extend the X before it would be a problem? Depends on what your enclosure system looks like. If you're using a casa, you couldn't expand it anymore. It basically uses all of the X space in casa. If you got a casa that was a bit longer, or you had an enclosure that was a bit longer, I'd say this is a just off the top of my head guess, would probably be about 400 millimeters. I would need to do some testing to figure out a more precise number for you, but off the top of my head, about 400 millimeters. But again, I don't think people will use that. I don't think people will use that space. If you want something that will do 400 millimeters, wait for Atlas. Ignore Milo and wait for Atlas. Miley with X-Burst might be interesting. Yeah, the only way to increase Miley in X-axis is to make a bigger build plate. And then you'd have to get that custom made. You couldn't just buy extrusions and get bigger rails. You need to get a custom made plate. But I assume you're talking about Milo, where that doesn't really matter as much. What work area will Atlas be? So Atlas has two work areas. It's got an accessories table as well as a main work table. So it's got two y-axes effectively, and it shares an x-axis. So if you were to just do the main work area, it's the size of two Milo. It's the size of two of these plates. So it's one and then one next to it. So do I have one available? It's that size. So that's the main work area. And then the second work area, which is the accessories table, is that. The idea behind the accessories table is you can put your tool changer on it. You could put a vise that you don't like setting up constantly on it. You could put your fourth axis on it. Basically, it's all there so that you don't have to constantly be changing things around if you have fixtures that you like having on your table, and it doesn't eat into your main work table area. Because when you're adding like a fourth axis or a tool changer or something like that, it quickly eats into the available real estate that you might have. So the main work area is 350 by 400, and the secondary work area is 350 by 200. So at this point, if you're following along this build later on in the future, if you got to be kind of careful because you want to make sure that there's no twist between these two extrusions. So I can feel a little bit of a gap forming at this end of the extrusion between the C-beam and the 2080. And that gap doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. So I'm going to assume that that's a little bit of twist. It happens. Extrusions aren't all straight. So before I tighten this piece up, I'm just going to grab a clamp. And I'm just going to force it shut effectively. And then that means when I tighten everything down, hopefully it should keep that twist from affecting me. So it might be a good thing for you to check as well, Hans.
But should I check for the twist?
Check for the twist, yeah. Do you need me to go over again? So I'll explain it again. So it's kind of important that the C-beam, so that's this extrusion here, and the 2080 here, don't have a gap that forms in the middle because it means it's twisted. And that means that that twist can propagate through the rails themselves. Yeah. So all I felt that there was a little bit of a twist here because there was a little bit of a gap on this side, but not on this side. So I just clamped it in this direction and tightened them up. So that twist is now gone, or at least it's mitigated. At the very least, it's mitigated. Once you've done that, we're going to add 2 more corner connectors here on either side. We're going to put 2 on the back on both sides, so that's another 4. And then we're also going to fill a bunch of other spaces as well. If you want to see exactly which ones, here's the CAD. So we've just done these 2 bottom ones here, and we need to do 2 more on top on either side. These 2 here, these 2 here, these 2 here, and then these 4 at the bottom. That sounds interesting, but I can imagine the price would be much greater. Yeah, I priced up the extrusions, just the extrusions the other day. It's over $1,500 just for the extrusions. So it's the entire cost of Milo just for the extrusions. Hey Brent, anything I need to know before getting the CNC parts made, or should I just send it? You can get them cheaper if you use the manufacturing files and then tap everything yourself. So every CNC file, except for the fixture plate right now, has a manufacturing file where all the holes are sized to are sized correctly to be tapped. So all the M5 holes, for example, are sized to 4.2 millimeters so that you can then tap them by hand afterwards. It's a lot cheaper to do it that way if you're going through PCBWay or something like that. And you don't need to provide drawings. Whereas if you're if you're tapping everything, if you're getting everything tapped on a machine, they need to have a drawing available for it. Does the Thor hammer setup make it easier to do a rough tram? Yes, yes, it does. I never got round to doing a manufacturing file for the fixated plate, but someone has made it on the Discord recently. So have a look around on the Discord and you can find a manufacturing file. What am I looking for? I need corner connectors, that's it. Yeah, getting stuff tapped in factories is a whole lot more expensive, mostly because of the assumption of, not quality, assumption of, how do I explain it? The assumption of accuracy. So they're assuming those threads need to be extremely accurate, and that takes money to get that done. Whereas if you're tapping by hand, which is 99% of the time fine to do when you're making assemblies, it doesn't need to be as accurate. Jack, the Thor's hammer assembly makes it easier to tram about the x-axis, so the nod back and forth. You could technically do it for about the y-axis as well. It's just a bit more of a pain doing it that way. And it's not even just for rough tram. It can be for the normal tram as well. This is more akin to how a lot of mini mills do it and a lot of normal column style mills do it. Right, we're coming up to about 2.5, well, we're just over 2.5 hours in now, Hans. When are you next free? I know you said you're free tomorrow, but I'm at my girlfriend's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to do tomorrow. Are you free on, what was it? On Tuesday today, Wednesday. I think I'm off on Thursday. Are you free on Thursday? Or are we gonna have to?
I think so.
Yeah? Cool. How does everyone feel about a Thursday stream? And hopefully now that we've got most of the awkwardness of double streaming out of the way, we'll manage to make a bit more progress than we did today.
Oh yeah.
Jose, good. Perfect. Excessive will be there. Awesome. We'll stream for a. We'll get to like a 3-hour mark maybe, and then we'll end stream for today. Oh, that's an M3 peanut. This may look like an excessive amount of corner connectors, but honestly, when I was doing the initial testing, there was so much deflection before I put these in. These made a huge difference. Like a huge difference. Awesome, right. So we need to do the other side now. Oh, this is starting to feel chunky. I'm gonna give this away at the end of the stream and see how much it is. V2 definitely weighs a lot more. Definitely weighs a lot more. Any value in Loctite on the corner pieces? Yeah, I probably should be doing Loctite. My Loctite's built in my cabinet, so I don't have any. It's the only reason I'm not using it. You should probably use some Loctite. Remember, Loctite only goes in places that doesn't have any plastic parts on it. We've had parts in the past break because Loctite is will melt ABS if you're not lucky, if you're not careful, if you're not lucky. You're feeling lucky, kid? That's not even the right accent. If any part goes near plastic, don't Loctite it. Unless you know there is no less. Heavy is good, heavy is reliable. If it doesn't work, you can always hit them with it. Boris the Blade. You know what? Valid. I feel like that's a Terry Pratchett thing. Where's that? What's that from? Night, Raj. Sleep well. Looks like most people are going to bed around about now. Yeah, we'll end the stream in like 10-20 minutes. How's that sound for you, Hans?
I mean, it's good. I mean, my cat is already sleeping, so he got the message.
Fair. Best to get some minutes sleep most of the stream.
Oh yeah. I mean, half the stream, my cat was eating. I don't know how much he ate, but every time I listened for my printer to be finished with that part, I just heard him eat, and I was like, what?
Okay.
But he ate up all his food, so I guess that's why he's sleeping now.
Yeah. We hear the beard. Is that the name of the movie, or is it from Snatch, or is it from We Hear the Beard, or is that a line from the movie Snatch? I've never watched Snatch. I know it's a classic movie, I just never watched it. Oh, where you been? Okay, I'm gonna move this now. I will put it there. I'll put it there so you don't have to listen to the scratchy beard. Sorry. Remind us next time that we need to go through a checklist of what parts we need for that stream,
Oh yeah.
so that we make sure that everything's... I cannot spell, I am tired. It's alright. I can't spell when I'm not tired. So, you're doing better than me.
Yeah, I mean, today at work, I was teaching a newbie, and we both like couldn't talk, and it was very funny because like I work in customer service, so there was a call he did with a customer, and like it was me trying to explain to him something, and I was like speaking very interestingly, like. I couldn't spell like half of my words, and then he was trying to text the customer, and he started doing the same thing. So it was very funny.
Yeah.
Oh no!
What happened?
My software just died on me, so I guess it's signaling that I should sleep. But jeez, I'm just noticing how much difference the softlight made. Like, that's a bit harder to see stuff. Yeah, I guess next stream I will not run the softlight from the battery. I will just wire it up, so that's why it won't die.
So this is why I made sure that I have lights that are definitely plugged in. I had a bunch of battery operated ones at one stage, but when you're somewhere that you have electricity at, but you need to charge a battery, it just gets so annoying. Like, you could be using it whilst, especially because a lot of lights you can't charge them and use them at the same time.
I'm pretty sure I can do that on this one, so...
Oh, cool.
At least I'm safe on that front. But oh yeah, because when I tested it out when it arrived, I put it... it wasn't... I didn't even have, I think, like a little bit of charge in it, so I had to charge it, and I was like, let's test it, so... I was testing it while charging, so...
Yeah. Okay, well...
I think I remember it right.
That's one better than me. Better than the one I had. And the one I had only lasted for like 30 minutes on full blast.
This almost lasted like...
Oh.
The battery.
Discord, stop. I don't know if that was you or me this time, because it says I'm still speaking on Discord, but I've lost you. I'm going to be rude and say good night, as it's 11 p.m. I got to wake up at 5 a.m. for work. Have a good stream. See you Thursday. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. No worries, dude. We're going to be finishing up soon anyway. We're literally going to do corner connectors, and then I'm going to go to bed. Because it is also nearly 11 o'clock. We'll see you on Thursday. We're down to our last 10 people anyway, so the 10 people have stuck through till the end. I've completely lost your hands.
Oh, wait. Can you hear me now?
You're still on camera, I just can't hear you.
It's me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way of
Is it
better
good now?
way of doing this. No, still don't have you. We can hear him. I can't hear him. How can you hear him? What? Oh. This is a me problem this time. My earphone died.
Wait, I mean, I need to like
Right.
my other earphones died too.
Should we try that again?
These guys.
No, earphones aren't connecting. This bud was giving me problems earlier. Can you hear me? No? Fuck's sakes.
Can you hear me now?
Right, I think, because my earphones are being a pain again, I think I'm going to end stream here. I can't hear what Hans is saying, but I will act like he is still here. Anyways, thank you folks for coming. It's been fun. I'm sorry for the technical issues. Hopefully by the time we start the next stream, it's going to be a lot smoother, and we don't have half an hour of getting cameras working and stuff like that, and we'll be able to make a little bit more progress. We're pretty much actually done with the bulk of the y-axis. It's a very, very simple and quick build comparative to like a Voron or something like that. Thank you all for coming. It always makes it easier when we've got a nice engaged crowd. We can have a little bit of back and forth, so I always want to say thank you for being honestly the best community in the world. I don't know if Hans is gonna say anything, but if he does want to say anything, say it in the next 10 seconds.
Okay, I mean, I don't just wish everyone a nice night. I think I'm just going to finish these connectors up, but yeah.
And then give you a
Thank you
thumbs
for
up when
joining
you're
us,
done.
everyone.
Hey, perfect, because I can see him, but I can't hear him. All right. So, cheers, guys. If you want to donate to the project, there's some links down below. If you don't, just give us a like. It always helps out. And hope you guys all have a great evening. Bye now.
Bye-bye.